Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey,
Welcome,
hey.
welcome. West Coast Wednesdays. Happy daylight savings time to all because I know it's thrown me off. Didn't throw me off until today, but that little skip forward, yeah, it got to me. So, for all of those that are still struggling this week, hopefully we can get rid of that and just stay on
Right.
daylight savings for a while. But whew, it has also been quite the week. And now that Major League Baseball is back and we've got spring training going, we have their free agency as
Yep.
well as National Football's free agency and the continued circus of players traveling around to different teams and getting some major money. Let me just say, if I had any boys right now, they are for sure playing baseball. Like, period.
I've been saying that.
These
I always say,
contracts, I mean, for sure, it was happening, 5, 10 years ago when they started making them 200, $300 million deals, but this is just, it's yeah, it's a lot.
yeah,
Um,
I know. I've always said if I ever had kids, they would either play the baseball, the soccer, the volleyball, all those lucrative things. It wouldn't be just straight competitive American sports, basketball and NFL. Gotta
I
go.
know, I
Gotta go the
know,
baseball route. If you can run, you can
gotta
catch, you
go.
can throw, you can hit. I mean, there's plenty of
Yes.
positions that we can develop.
Shout out to Goose, let the ball bounce. We
Shout out to
appreciate you.
Goose.
Yes, that's something that we'll
Yes,
also
I was talking
discuss.
about.
That
Mm-hmm.
that Bryant, man,
Yeah.
116 mil for 70 years is
Yes.
like,
That baseball
I
money's
know,
long. It's long.
I know some of these football guys be like, "Hey, listen."
I wonder if Kyler Murray's looking into that now.
I mean, shoot, Russell Wilson probably could have got more money with the Rockies too, since they want to talk about the Rockies so much during his speech today for Colorado and the Broncos. But I
I didn't even watch
digress.
it because that orange
I
just
watched
doesn't
part of
work.
it. I watched highlights of it. I just, yeah.
Always has been the way. Hi, Heather. Shout out to you.
What's up, Heather? Thanks for
Yeah.
joining in. Yeah, baseball is
It's
definitely the way to
always
go
been the
now.
way. People have just been so one dimensional thinking that it's all about the bat. And it's a cheap sport. A glove, bat, a ball.
A
Go out to the
ball.
park. Let's do it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So we're just going to jump into some hot topics. Of course, we all know by now that Tom Brady decided to unretire from football. I found a tweet that was hilarious because it mentioned the things that last longer than Tom Brady's retirement: the MLB lockout, Pete Davidson in bed with Kim K, the new Batman movie, Big Ben running a QB draw, Antonio Brown getting off of a field, and Urban Meyer's coaching career in the NFL. What we also forget is that somebody had paid over $500,000 for his quote unquote last touchdown ball, which of course is no longer going to be his last touchdown. So, how you feel if you're that guy?
Yeah, I don't
I
know if
mean,
that guy's
someone,
still living. Is that guy still with us
some,
on Earth? Is he still with us?
I,
Pray that he's
if
still
you,
with us.
or he
Because,
filed for bankruptcy. I don't
I
know. I mean,
mean,
I guess
because the
if you
thing of
got
it is,
a half million to blow on a ball anyway, then
maybe. I don't know, but it still would
pause. But
hurt. It still would feel something, a little pinch in the heart, like I was having a
I
heart
would
attack.
think something because from what someone said on that if it was no longer his last touchdown, that ball maybe could get like 50 grand. So you're this is worse than a car depreciation when you take it off the lot. Like you
Pretty
bought that
much.
ball and it's gone.
Pretty much. I mean, the worst negotiation with Tom Brady, I think the people need to just kind of back off of trying to get any Tom memorabilia because they're horrible at making good choices when it comes to his ball. You know, you have the guy
Yeah.
in the stand with the pass, and he negotiated wrong with just a season of season tickets and not lifelong season. I mean, anybody that gets this Tom Brady situation stuff should have known better that he was not ready. Because the thing of it is his announcement was fickle. Remember, he had said, "I didn't say that. Then I take it back and
Mm-hmm.
let's retract." Yeah, 2 months is like, yeah, 2 weeks for some. And it's 2 weeks for him. The
It's a
kids got
lot
to
to
him.
deal with.
He
It,
probably saw.
it's
He probably met up with Cristiano Ronaldo. Saw there was 5 kids. It was like, nah, I'm not ready.
I mean, and
I'm
here's the
not
deal.
ready.
I'm sure for Giselle, who's used to just being home, running the household, dealing with the kids, to then have your husband home, who's never usually home 24/7, to have him home or with you for 40 straight days. Maybe she's one of those girls that, I feel sometimes that you might want a man, but you don't need him there by your side 24/7. Now this guy is there.
But it's not even that. She probably started adding him to those childlike duties. We got practice over here. We got a game over here.
Start
we got recital
yes.
over here. We got this. We got that. We can now go visit the families. We now can go do this. Yeah.
We could do it all. Yeah.
It got old real quick.
I believe that. I still can't. Shout out to Arlington. Join the chat. We appreciate you.
Yes, shout out Arlington. Rest in heaven, Razor Ramon.
Yes. Hopefully these Bulls get their act back together too. So we'll discuss that. But yeah, so also regarding Tom Brady, of course, today there was a video leaked out of the barbershop where Gronk was getting his hair cut. And of course, he's talking about, hey, I'm going to be back. Like, I'm just going to play with him a little bit and see. So of course he's going to come back. I mean, he's a free agent, of course, but his guy is back. His numero uno. His yin to his yang.
Tom goes, Bronk's going to be right behind him. That's no surprise.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It is. I mean, everybody in the league is mad, probably, except Natalie. And
Natalie's very excited, of course.
Yes, of course.
She's had a hard couple weeks, and so this was some refreshing news for her, of course. That was.
And the thing of it is like y'all sat up and watched that Tom Brady thing, or she did, thinking he was gone, and he's back. That just resurrected him. Totally.
Well, I know my quarterback's gone for good, so I can't even deal.
Your quarterback and Bobby Wagner.
It's not even it's Bobby. I don't even care about rest anymore. That whole little 3 sentences he said, but and then Bobby still hasn't picked up. So here's the deal. I was very scared of a Von Miller and a Bobby Wagner to Cowboys situation that was, in the rumorville. Of course, Von just signed today
to Buffalo.
Got 6 years, I believe, there. So I'm a little relieved that there won't be both them on the Cowboys, but Bobby's still a free agent. We never know where that's going. So stay tuned. I kind of hope he comes to the AFC so that I can try and see him while he's at Raider Stadium,
Yeah, I don't know.
Shout out to a fellow Seahawker, Justin. Happy belated birthday as well to you. So another hot topic we got going on, of course, Deshaun Watson's trial. He is not going to face any criminal charges. The grand jury declined to indict him for the sexual misconduct on Friday. He does have civil cases that is still pending, but of course that opened up the where is Deshaun Watson going? And it sounds like there's a trio of possibilities, Atlanta being a sneaky one. Then there was something I saw today that if Atlanta were to get him, that Seattle would go for Matt Ryan. And that cannot be that has to be one of the most terrible decisions ever. I want a vet quarterback around, but I don't need Matt Ryan. I don't need that. I don't need that Matty Ice. Any thoughts on Deshaun's next move?
I thought he was talking to the Cleveland Browns. I thought Baker Mayfield put out this statement saying, thank you, Cleveland. And they've been meeting with Deshaun Watson. I think that's where he's going to land personally. The whole Matt Ryan situation is just a dumpster fire. I don't know where he gets in this guy. I mean, if he goes anywhere, I feel like he needs to be a backup to somebody. He can't be a starter. He can't. It's not going to work. And I honestly think for your team, you guys will probably draft within the draft class. I don't think you're getting any veteran quarterbacks. And if you do, and it's somebody Matt Ryan-ish, let him be back and y'all draft for a number.
Here's the deal. I'm open to a Kaepernick situation. Like, I wouldn't mind him. He's been out 4 years. I feel like that would also be like a cheap contract. We can try and get at least for 1 year just to have some veteran presence, whether he's been there in the league for the last 4 years or not.
But you guys played that game with him before and didn't get it.
But that's also when he wanted to be a starter.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know if the girl listen. You guys are going to be on rebuild. I don't know what you're going to get. You name and drop. You dropping names, and it's just not working. I don't know what you're going to do for your organization. But I could see them trying to do a redeeming Kaepernick thing, but it's not going to happen. We have to just move on from that. Sadly.
He was working out with Tyler Lockett in Arizona.
He was.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
You never know. You
never know. Said no. Yeah, it sounds like Deshaun wants to stay in the South. Of course, people are talking about the Panthers and him being in from Carolina. And I don't know who would give Watson 3 first-round picks.
I don't either.
I don't see that.
I don't see that either. That's why I don't see how you guys already got some first round picks off of the Russell trade. 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders, and whatnot. I just see you guys drafting out of a class.
Oh, I definitely think we'll draft somebody too. I don't know. This whole rebuilding thing is interesting, but we all know that John and Pete do tend to make interesting choices come draft time. And a lot of that pertains to trading down and gathering more picks. And granted, they've been successful in picking late round people that have been successful. That's been a good 8-10 years. We need something now to happen.
As long as you guys got Pete Carroll, it's going to be whatever it is. Que sera, sera.
Poor guy looked a little aged in his interviews today.
He looked a little aged.
Yeah,
he is aged.
I know. It's yeah.
Another news: Las Vegas Raiders. Give it up to my Raider Nation family.
Speak on it.
Because we dropped bombs today. We didn't know what we were going to make a move on. We didn't know what we were going to do. We were moving slow motion through this whole thing. And then I woke up this morning with update after update after update after update. And we get Chandler Jones in the update.
Yeah, I'm a little...
We need a pass rusher. We got it today. We got everything we needed for our defense. I think we're solid.
Wait, did you say you need a quarterback?
No, cornerback. We got a cornerback.
I'm like, I think Derek's still there.
No, cornerback. 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 And we have a pass rusher. And not only do we have a pass rusher, we have the pass rusher.
Yeah, you do. I honestly wanted him for us.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. You guys don't even have a quarterback yet. They were not going that way. But anyway,
listen,
we are happy.
Stop hating.
That we got a defense now that can sack Russell, that can sack Pat, that can sack.
Because y'all gonna need it. Y'all gonna need
all of that. We're gonna need all of that smoke and to have Max Crosby on the end of the other side of that. It's just a beautiful thing.
You're gonna need all of that because the changing of the guard has happened. This NFC to AFC has happened. The Russell Wilsons, Khalil Max, Von Millers, Chandler Jones, Amari. I don't know if I would put Amari Cooper on the list.
I would put Amari Cooper on that list, but that was a nice try.
But I mean, look at you got your Derek Carrs, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herberts, Russell Wilson. I mean,
check this out.
Yeah, the AFC West is really, really
we needed
intense.
that. We had to, and we're not done. We are not done.
You're not done.
Where is Devontae Adams going to sit next?
That's a very good question.
And where is Honey Badger going to sit? Actually, they've been looking at it. So other teams have been looking at Honey Badger. I think he's going to sign soon somewhere, or he's going to stay with Kansas City. Who knows? But if we get either one of those guys, my soul will be settled. I'll be excited to be attending Allegiant Stadium. I will. Hi, Quan, tapping in, talking about my Lakers are trash. Yeah, listen, I agree.
He gave up on them Lakers. Quan ain't about it no more.
Listen, I'm supporting my Lakers, but I'm also wearing my Lakers stuff for the Winning Time show. But I digress. Anyway, the Raiders are looking really, really solid. And that's something we effectively needed. We needed defense. We're saddened that Zay Jones had to go on our offensive side. That's fine. Godspeed, Zay Jones. But you only had like one touchdown pass last season. And we lost Yannick Ngakoue too, which a lot of people were kind of upset about that because we end up getting Rock Ya-Sin from the Colts. And it's a trade-off with that. But we got Chandler Jones, Rock Ya-Sin as a quarterback. We're fine. We'll be just fine. Calm down. We'll be fine. Salute to Carl Nassib. You know, we appreciate all that you've done with the Raiders as well. I mean, coming out and speaking out and living in your truth. And shout out to Andre Wade because he said it's so funny how the Raiders had donated to the LGBTQ plus community last week. And then
really?
Nassib. I said, well, Nassib probably said within the departing the wage, make sure you send that money, you know, to the organization. Good. But we hope he lands on his feet somewhere in another team. He's played throughout the league in different teams and stuff. So I think these money moves that we have is because we have Josh McDaniels and you're getting 1-year contracts also signing from expatriate players and that no Josh,
like they're running,
system. So this is what we needed. When Russell Wilson announced that he was coming to the Denver Broncos in our AFC division of West, we need to make money moves. We cannot sit there with our just sitting there folding our hands like waiting for a miracle. No, that's not gonna work. We got to make some power moves. We got to make money moves, and we did that today. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good. Keep it coming, Raiders. Keep it coming.
Yeah, they did good. I mean, but and hopefully it gets you over that hump.
It needs to. It needs to. It needs to. If we can make effective defensive stops, like with a guy like that, man, that's very effective for us on our offensive end. So I'm with it.
Well, not to, I mean, you were dogging on my Seahawks. Like, I know it's rebuilding. They've also, I mean, they're making some moves that are have a potential to be better than what we were last year. As far as we've gotten a couple offensive linemen already. They signed a center as well as an offensive tackle from the Patriots and from the Chiefs. We've released some guys that re-signed Quandre Diggs, which we really needed. We got another cornerback that came in, Artie Burns. So there's stacking pieces. I'm not saying that we'll be in contention for anything, especially, the NFC West is still a tough division. But it's not, at least it's helpful to see them making some moves for those things that we've always been needing. Getting 2 guys new on the offensive line. I'm excited to see that. But again, it is. So besides,
I'm not trying to dog your Seahawks, but it's just the reality of it all is that you guys need a quarterback and you need a
for
coach.
Sure.
Like I just.
And maybe it's a change in the way things are. Having Russ and Pete there for 10 years, maybe they just both can do better separately for a little while. Yeah. Thanks, Quan. I appreciate the support. Quan loves the Seahawks, everybody, just in case you aren't watching.
Yeah, they will be back. I see that. I see what he said. I mean,
definitely.
Yeah, you got to be patient, Mel. Honestly, this is the time where you guys go dark. I hate to say it. I will see some. What do you predicate the record being, or do you want to predict a record after the draft?
I'm not going to predict. I'm going to wait till after the draft because I mean, at this point, if we made some great moves or if we're able to trade a draft pick for a current vet right now, I mean, those are all possibilities that would be helpful. And to see what they do. I mean, like we just re-signed our tight end Disleaf to like 2 years and like $24 million, but then we got Noah Fant in the trade over.
Yeah.
And then we also still had, I think, one other tight end. So I don't know what we're doing all these pieces. I want to see how it gets laid out. But we can definitely return to that conversation, post draft and as we get into training camp. The Jags been making some moves. They spent a grip of money for Christian Kirk at wide receiver. They got Zay Jones, Evan Ingram, Darius Williams. I mean, they're given something. They're given something to work with a little bit. We should see.
Maybe Deshaun Watson will go to the Jags.
I hate Quan. My shirt says "Empowered Women Empower Women." Thank you. That's pretty funny. Wombs. Yeah, I empower wombs too. How about that? So I don't know how much the highest paid kicker is, but the Falcons signed Young Ho Kim to $24 million over 5 years.
That was ridiculous.
That feels like a big payday for a kicker.
It is a big payday. And I had him on my fantasy league. He didn't disappoint. It's just that the Falcons are a disappointment,
Yeah, they are.
But if that's what they would need to pay him to keep him, I mean,
they got the extra money right now.
Yeah, so. Wants to go over to the Falcons anyway. Honestly,
I mean, they get a lot of work. That's probably the reason. I mean, maybe he's getting paid that much because of how much he's working.
Yeah, he's out on that field a lot. Yeah.
Yes. Arlington Jags lost Miles Jack. Miles Jack signed with the Steelers, which is, I'm sure, something that the Steelers defense is happy to hear about.
And they got Mitch Trubisky too.
Yeah. All those Steelers. Hey, I know Donata, Miss Bollandi's in the chat, so we need to hear about your thoughts for Mitch Trubisky. You lose Ben, and you get Mitch. So,
lose Ben, get Mitch. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot. But there was so many. I mean, we could go off the list, but it's just a lot. One thing else I wanted to touch down that was football related was these two guys who I'm sure half of us can barely stand to listen to, at least for one of them, if not both, are no longer with Fox and have signed with ESPN. So this is our Monday Night Football. We will hear these guys every Monday night, and there's no other games on Monday. swap with. So hopefully I'll get a good radio station by then that I can sub in for, because it's going to be a little bit pain, a little bit of a pain. I don't
Hmm.
know. It's a lot. Um, with Major League Baseball starting as well, of course, with the New York City's mandate, just like with Kyrie Irving still, and these Nets, the Yankees and the Mets, who are unvaccinated, won't be able to play at home. And they had done an interview with Aaron Judge in regards to his vaccination status, which he totally diverted the whole conversation, made it sound more like, well, we'll see how it gets. Well, we'll see what happens when it gets to that point, and you never know what may change, and da 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 da. So it's questionable now to know if Aaron Judge or whom on these Yankees or Mets are unvaxxed, and who may not be able to play on opening day, because Yankees have the first game opening day on April 7th. Arlington. Yeah, I'm not a big I'm not a big Buck or Troy fan, to be honest. It's not it. I'm not it. What is this? Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins joining the XFL. Well, they need it.
Somebody's got to get a job.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, the whole Yankees thing is just absolutely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting patiently to see if the Dodgers are going to acquire Freddie Freeman from the Braves, and see what we're going to do as far as that kind of a power move, if we can do it. Andy Friedman spoke out of how he's like, yeah, I would love to get Freddie Freeman, but we also have the Red Sox competing with him, the Rays, and I don't know where that's gonna go. But if we do get him, my soul will be settled once again, because that's gonna be. We always like Dodgers always like to take former World Series champion players and add them to their roster for the new season in hopes that we win a World Series, and we get all these wins, and then we get us nowhere.
But when you re-signed, you gave Kershaw an extra couple years or something, right?
Of course we did. We always gonna give Kershaw's always gonna have a seat at the table. Is Kershaw gonna be effective for us down the road, though? That's the question.
You never know.
I need Freeman.
You never know.
We need him. Let's just go grab him.
Yeah.
Spend those dollars. Let's just make them money moves.
Make the money moves. One of the other things I wanted to touch upon, which we can get into, the Brittney Griner situation. What I don't understand, or I guess what I do understand, of course, we know how women in sports are treated around in a male-dominated society, but this woman is still being held and detained in Russia. There's no idea as to where she's being detained, how she's being treated. There is some discussion that there are criminal charges being developed right now in regards to her. No one even knows what kind of prisons they're dealing with, or jails they have to deal with, if that's where she's being detained at. And if this were, Brittney Griner could arguably be like a top 10 WNBA player. If this had be like a KD, or if this was a Damian Lillard or a Kyrie, how long do you think they'd be sitting over there for?
Well, I brought that point to you last week, and you challenged me down on it, saying, no, they'd still be using them as a pawn, which they might possibly use them as a U.S. pawn. I told you, if it was a star or any stud, we'd have more details. We'd have more people fighting for it. We'd have more people activated. If we're going to do a free Brittney movement, it needs to be mobilized now. But if it was any other player in the league, to your point, we probably would have, first of all, it probably would have paid mad dollars, and it probably would have been out. We would have had locations on them. It would have been a whole big thing. This, and not so much.
And her family doesn't even really know, supposedly, as to where she could be or what the status of her case is. And there was an article I read that was talking about 2 other Americans that had been detained in Russia before, for some ridiculous charges that weren't necessarily true, and they got years in jail, and they still to this day only have phone contact with family, and they report some terrible conditions inside those prisons, which I couldn't imagine. I mean, obviously I could imagine.
It's a devastating thing. It really is. And it's sad and unfortunate that we're in a wartime right now. That makes it even worse. And that the fact that if she is, I'm really more so concerned about her mentals and what that has to do to you. Because even with the time out, and even if she does get out, how does that traumatize and that trauma that she has affect her going forward in the future? This has been going on since February. I know we're only like mid-March, but it's just still. Can you imagine the days you're in there?
I couldn't.
I mean, it's just it's so heinous. It's just unreal. Like,
And Arlington mentioned like, Diana Taurasi would have been out of there hella quick, or they, but I don't know
I
if it.
don't know if she would have, but I think we would have had a location on her. This
Maybe
woman
a
is a
Sue
black
Bird.
woman.
If Sue Bird was in
I
there,
don't
we may
know. I
have
don't
more of
know
a.
because I don't know because Russia also has a big stance on LGBTQ. It's not just
Right.
about her being an American. They are totally
I think
anti
just,
of that.
I
So
think,
those.
well, and I think like with her partner being Megan Rapinoe, I think the stances she's made and her vocal about other issues. I mean, we don't know Brittany's wife too well. And I don't know if she's trying to make a stance or try to gather people to try and make this Free Brittany movement, but somebody has got to start somewhere.
I think
And
with Megan Rapinoe would be a definitely mobilization movement, but again, does it give an effect? It may not. These are women, and these are Americans, and they are LGBTQ, and then she is a minority on top of that. So she has all of those things stacked against her, that would warrant her being in this captivity right now. And I think that for any player, I honestly think if it was a male-dominated revenue sports athlete, it'd be a totally different conversation, of course, and a totally different lens, and it would be a totally different action plan, and it'd be a totally different involvement situation to have them released. It would be
do we think the same?
A demand.
And in the same, even during like the war times that they're in right now too.
She's a pawn. Let's just call it what it is. She is a hostage pawn right now, and it's sad, and it's unfortunate.
And Russia's definitely the last place I'd probably want to be as well. So yeah,
they're anywhere. Bangkok. I watched that I'm telling you, that Broke Down Palace. You guys watched that movie with Claire Danes. You don't want to do any of that kind of stuff. That was awful. And then I told you about the YouTube show, the Locked Up Overseas show.
Yep, Locked Up is ridiculous. I've seen that show. Woof.
It's totally real.
Yeah.
I mean, the ball boys luckily made it out of China for stealing the Louis Vuitton glasses. Remember all that controversy and how that went down?
Well, we know how that,
And the influence of that got them out.
Yeah.
Just like it would any other player. They probably use it for a palm and hostage for a while, but that'd have to cave because you've got power figures behind you. She has no power players behind her. No power figures behind her. Brittney Griner is in there, and it's sad and unfortunate that she could possibly face the 10 years to 20 years or whatever the sentence is. And again, her mentals and her trauma has already activated and kicked in. Even if she were to get out, what space would she be in to play or do anything going forward? This is just one of the most heinous and egregious things that anyone could ever go through. And my prayers are with her and the family. What can you do? What can we do?
Yeah.
What can we
then
do?
You're also in a place where you don't, granted, she probably knows some Russian just from playing there for so long, but you're in a foreign country that doesn't speak your language at all.
You're a foreign country that's battling another country, and they're not listening to anybody American related on what they're doing and how they're moving.
You're in a country ran by Putin. That says enough right there. So, oh God, but yeah, our prayers are out to Brittney Griner and family, and I would hope that there's more of an effort that's made to at least vocalize this more, because now that NFC,
it's not vocalized. That's the issue. No one's talking about it. NBA players haven't been speaking out on it. Have you heard any players say anything? No one is saying anything about this. It's just like,
that is weird that there's, I've seen a couple of tweets, but it's usually like right after the incident. Nobody's continuously bringing this conversation up. Oh, gosh. I would hope not. Arlington said he saw a rumor that she vanished. Well,
yeah. Well, she is vanished. We don't know where she is. She did.
That's technically true. We don't
technically true. Like, what
know where she is.
We don't know where she is.
I wanted to let's switch it a little bit more. Let's talk about some Vegas news that's happening. Of course, we talked about our Lady Rebels yesterday. So the Lady Rebels, they are officially in the NCAA tournament. They got placed 13th and will be playing against Arizona in Arizona on Saturday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. They're actually having a send-off for the ladies at Thomas and Mack tomorrow, Thursday at 2 p.m. So if anybody
let's wish our ladies luck, man. This is going to be a challenging tournament. The fact
it'll be
that they advanced, it's so awesome.
Definitely a challenge.
They're the real deal.
Yeah.
each season they just get better and better. Last season was a breakthrough and then record breaking situation, and this season they won the Mountain West as champions. And
that'll be great. On. I mean, there has been teams that in the 13th slot that have beat the number 4 slot. So let's just keep our fingers crossed that this can happen too. So it'll be good. Also, maybe not from Vegas, but I'm sure some people will see it in Vegas. Mike Tyson has his own cannabis company, of course, brand Tyson 2.0. They launched ear-shaped edibles. I think
it's the most hilarious thing, but do they have a bite in the ear? Like there needs to be
I'm curious. It looks like it. It looks like if you look close, it looks like there's a little edge
on the
in
package,
the corner.
It looks like the end is kind of missing some, right?
So these are hilarious. It is. I think when I saw the post, someone had asked if Holyfield was going to be getting a cut of the proceeds for this, but it's pretty hilarious.
I think it's hilarious.
Our Vegas Golden Knights are suffering right now. These guys have lost 5 straight. They slipped from the 3rd down to the 4th seed in the Pacific Division, along with so when they first left for their road trip, I think they had like 4 or 5 games on the road. Leonard, our goalie, of course, was sent home immediately from a lower body injury. Mark Stone was already on the injured reserve. Alex Martinez was also. We have a backup, Laurent Brissant. I haven't seen the guy really, but I looked him up. I had to share with everybody else. Backup goalie.
Okay.
Granted, he's clearly not doing so well, but he could definitely get a job as a male model. He's sure also 6'3". So
yeah. Okay.
In case anybody wanted to see what it was like underneath that mask.
Looks like we're going to have to be visiting the practice facility soon.
I mean, just a little bit, especially while he's still the starting goalie. So.
Looks like I may have to take a trek up to the Summerlin Center there.
Well, we'll have a little meet and greet there, you know. Ladies, feel free to join us.
I think we're going to have to go make an introduction.
We will. Our Las Vegas Lights soccer team USL, they are back. They started their season. They play this Saturday for their home opener against the Phoenix Rising FC. They also struck a deal with local Red Apple Fireworks. They're going to have monthly fireworks shows post-game. The first, of course, going to be on Saturday after their home game. Nice. And but leave it to the Lights to always throw in a little something extra and to do a little something more, because I almost spit out my coffee the other morning when I was sent this media release. So this is Calling the Colon. Fans will be entering the stadium through Calling the Colon in celebration of National Colon Rectal Cancer Awareness Month, which is March. So thank God this won't be all season long, but this will be for the rest of the home games in March. If you're coming to a Las Vegas Lights game, you will be going through a colon.
What is that on the sides of it? Are those polyps or something?
I guess so. Maybe you can, maybe Cash can tell you, you know, what those areas are and how they affect your body and why you need your colon checked.
Yes, you do.
I laugh.
What are they going to do for? Never mind.
Breast cancer awareness.
I was going to say it the other way. Cervical cancer days. What are we going to do?
Pancreatic cancer.
Cervical cancer days. What are we going to do with that?
Go through a womb or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shout out to the Lights for always keeping it entertaining. That's why they said they are one of the most entertaining soccer clubs.
They really are.
In the country.
Really are. They wouldn't be the Vegas Lights without this. They really wouldn't.
It would not be.
But it's sending in a very important message for colonoscopies. For we're at that age where we need to have those, and you know. And if this doesn't scream the message of walking through a colon and being educated on why, I would have spit my coffee out and then some.
Okay, so clearly it's happened before. So Stephanie, shout out to Stephanie. She has a pic of her in a colon at Zappos. So
okay.
Maybe this colon makes its this colon makes its rounds around Las Vegas. Apparently,
it does. Yeah. Go ahead and submit a post to that staff on the Girlchatsports page, please.
Yeah, we'll need to see that. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
With Major League Baseball being back, of course, I wanted to share this. So Seattle's has made a couple of big moves already since the reopening of free agency, but I wanted to let everybody see just some of the wholesomeness that's happening at spring training. Apparently, it can also be bring your dog to work. So here's
Oh,
Ty
nice.
France and his dog Oakley.
How cute.
Let me show up to spring training with Shug.
Cute.
Or Tilly. Tilly could be the ball girl. You know, she
Right.
loves these balls. So I'm a little bummed though. I was supposed to be at spring training this weekend. Me and my girl Cynthia. You know, they had canceled our tickets because apparently once the season and the lockout ended, they had to rearrange games and playing what, you know, who you're playing and what field. So we would have to then rebook tickets, which wasn't necessarily bad, but then it's like, you know, at this point, why do we go? There's also the gas price, and there's also now because we were going to go to the Mariners in Peoria on Saturday. They're actually playing the Dodgers now. They weren't before, but I was still tempted to possibly go to that Mariners versus Dodgers game. But then Sunday for the Frisco game because I got to show him again because we were gonna go catch Coach Gabe.
Oh my god!
And they were playing in Scottsdale. They were playing in Scottsdale, and Scottsdale is a great place to have a night because you can hang out, go to the bars, relax, whatever. But now Frisco is playing in Goodyear, which is very east of Phoenix. I wouldn't even consider it even in Phoenix technically, and it just threw us for a loop. So, alas, watch it from home maybe, or enjoy my weekend. It's March Madness weekend. Everybody is coming to Vegas. Brackets are set.
Yes, they are.
Plane tickets have already been bought, and I'm sure most of the men in this world are already on their way, if not already here in Las Vegas, because just like Super Bowl Sunday, March Madness is a big time here in Las Vegas. So you've got the VIP March Madness parties happening in everybody's casinos. Pools are now open, so there's pool parties happening already, of course. Finally, our weather is breaking, so we're looking at that close to 80-degree mark, which is great. Opening day is going to be on the 7th. They said that the season will end on October 5th. There's 30 additional double headers this season just to make up for the 90 games that got postponed, which I think is crazy.
Shout out to my boy Sean Christian invited me to the Yahoo Sports 25,000 bracket challenge. I have set my bracket. It's due tomorrow. I might go in and make a few changes. Baylor's making me a little nervous. I don't know. But I'm gonna roll with what I got. I've tried to research as best as I can and watch some games.
Look at you.
We'll see what happens. I mean, that 25K comes in real nicely if I can win that whole jig. But we will see. I just don't want to be knocked out in the first round. That's just I'm like, Jesus.
Do you want to let us know like who you're gunning for here in the final or in the championship?
I don't want to jinx it, but I do have Baylor up there. But actually, no, I'm sorry. I don't have Baylor up there. I have Gonzaga. I'm rolling with Gonzaga just all the way around. I really don't want to jinx that with them because they've been playing not so good lately. But Gonzaga is my.
And they're so choice. They've been there so many times. They're used to it. Hopefully,
last season, and I was like, no, let's have this revenge thing because Baylor will be knocked out. Let's go with Gonzaga all the way. I want to see these Bulls win. Yeah.
Well, I got to keep some Washington love there too.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. The Zags are usually strong, and I'm just, I got to go over the bracket myself. I haven't filled any out yet, but I plan to do a couple maybe tonight and just kind of see where I go. But I just haven't watched enough college basketball this year to really get a good feeling. I figure like once I can watch first rounds, I'll feel more comfortable about the second rounds just for betting wise. But I'm always down for an underdog bet because pays the most, and there's a lot of there was a lot of underdogs that won last season.
It's all about the underdog. I don't really see Duke advancing, even though people are saying Duke might go as far as they can, but I just don't see them. I think they're going to get knocked out definitely in the second round or first round. That would be a good upset, be a bad upset. But it's Coach K's last season. What are you going to do, you know?
What are you going to do?
Yeah, it'd be a nice narrative, but I don't think that's going to be the bedtime story this year. If they win the championship. Yeah.
Oh, one thing I forgot to discuss when we're talking about football is I think the Denver tweet team needs a serious award because the Denver Broncos have made some tremendous tweets. Of course, when they broke the news about signing Russell Wilson, waking up feeling dangerous. Of course, the Wilson the bottle, the volleyball, but then of course when today. When Randy Gregory, or was it yesterday? He was basically committing to the Cowboys for a deal to re-sign for 5 years, $70 million. He actually didn't and went to the Broncos, and they tweeted this surprise, which I found hilarious too. And of course, because it was the Cowboys, but
yeah, of course. But you're talking about
tweets.
two nemesis teams I don't like, so it's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a good slap in the face for the Cowboys because they really had high hopes and expectations of what they was going to do.
They had already tweeted they signed him and they had to delete it.
Yeah, right. Sorry, not to like oopsie.
Sorry, not sorry.
Oopsie. My bad.
Are you watching the Warriors game?
I am watching the Warriors game. Our Lakers got demolished. As I thought and suspected because I was
by how much?
Everybody. 124-102, I believe, was the final score. Ooh. I believe that I was expecting Anthony Towns to actually drop 70 on my Lakers tonight. That did not happen because defensively the Lakers were double teaming him. And they still managed to beat the Lakers.
Well, yeah, I think the spread was like 6.5 originally, yeah, but
so we're officially probably out of the play-in option tournament because after this, I think we go to Philadelphia and play those Sixers. Then we play the Wizards. Looking at the schedule, the Lakers are not going to make a play-in. This is pretty much a wrap.
Or you think they're going to tank from now on? You think? I mean, besides the LeBron cussing his teammates out, do you feel like there could be
shouldn't even cuss them out because that's all on him. You're the one that orchestrated this madness, sir. And then you expect Avery Bradley and Malik Monk and Austin Reeves to actually physically play when they've never had their hands on the ball part of half the season because you've taken the ball and you passed it to Rusty. No,
to Rusty.
It's not intentional. It's
real life.
Naturally gonna happen. Yeah, it's just the way things work. These players are old. They have no young legs, not enough efficiency, depth of shooting. None of them can shoot. I mean, I'm watching air balls left and right. I mean, big ups to everybody shooting that three, but God, that was the first time I seen him shoot a three like that in I don't know how long. So it's sad because we are now, I believe, at 39 losses to our 29 wins. So we are, I think the Pelicans are one game behind us. If they win and they take the 9th spot, we sit in the 10th seed and que sera, sera. That's what it is.
And that would be the early summer vacation for the Lakers.
It sure would be. And it's just unfortunate because I'm like, I know I've been hard on the team and my dad's like, you got to back off of them a little bit. Like, try to support them. I'm like, support what? I mean, I'm watching Winning Time and I just think about the legacy
Winning Time is good.
Of what Dr. Buss envisioned and how that should have just remained and held true. You've got a number 6 seed or number 5 seed Boston team beating the brakes off of a Golden State Warriors team currently right now. And hopefully the Warriors can rally back because Draymond's back. But this is the consistency that a 17 championship franchise needs to have. We don't need to be a number 9 spot. I don't want to go on a rant too much about this. Yeah. But it's just crazy that this is where we are because we have allowed a celebrity to make GM moves to our team, which necessarily he should not have done, wanting his friends to play who are on the other side of this league and not invest in the young talent that we have. Oh, my God, I watched the Utah game the other night, and Jordan Clarkson is just shooting the lights out. We watch these Wizard games, and we see Kyle Kuzma being effective. You know, you watch the Knicks games, and you see Julius Randle doing what he can do as best as he can on the Knicks team. But it's something, and these are players that we have let go. We see Zubac over there at Clipperland being Zubac, another player we let go. So we let go all of these pieces.
And we see these two guys dropping 60.
Well, that's just ridiculous, honestly.
I
That's honestly
mean,
ridiculous. And Cat to drop 32 in the third quarter was just insane. Him not even realizing that he dropped 32 in the third quarter was even more insane. And we are in a league now where there's no defense. We are seeing high-scoring games
or not enough defense to keep up with this kind of offense.
It's not even no defense. It's not existent because guess what? When you D up on somebody, you're either gonna get hit with a tech or a flagrant run or a review that lasts way too long, or they're gonna flop and manipulate some kind of outcome of a
the league
foul.
has made it like this.
Yeah. So you're looking at shoot-arounds, and for the Lakers, we have no shooters, none effectively that can shoot around with the rest of these guys, nor the energy to keep up with these guys. God bless the Carmelo. You should have just stayed with Carmelo. You should have just stayed with Portland. But for what Melo has done for our team, he does come in. He's the only one that actually shows up for work when he does come, but he's on limited time. He can't play a full stretch game. We can only have him for a few 15 minutes at best, if that. And then he's down. So it's a mess. What are you going to do?
Yeah, it's too much. What are you going to do?
Tito's is winning. You're looking at these kids in college balling. The drafts are coming up. These young legs are just on a shoot-around hunt. Steph Curry has definitely made a benchmark to be okay and get your 3-game up because now all what are these kids doing?
That's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing. And the score right now for this game is 41-30. Boston leading in Oakland or San Francisco now at the Chase Center. It's a game. I mean, I just don't want to see many more Laker games on syndicated national stage television. I don't
know why they keep we don't need to see these on ESPN no more. Take them off. There's plenty of other games out there that we should be seeing.
Right, like Bulls games. I mean, I know you guys are on a little tumble and down climb, but
especially since we just got Levine back on Monday. Then we lose the Kings. We're currently losing to the Jazz right now. It's just.
Yeah, the Bulls peaked, but at least you guys will be in the play-in.
But there's still playoff contention, and hopefully everybody gets re-synced. Because I think the issue was that there's always been one player out, so they haven't really had that time to adjust when everybody's healthy. We'll see how that happens, and hopefully in the playoffs, hey, being lower seed in the playoffs doesn't make it any worse because you're just playing and
Hey, it's playoffs. You guys haven't seen that in a while. I think I'm happy for you guys.
Sure hasn't. For
this Lakers team to be who we are, the dynasty on the West Coast, it just makes no sense that we are sitting here where we are. And you've got a fifth-seeded Boston team that consistently makes the playoffs. I mean, we haven't missed the playoff, I don't think it's since, 2010, somewhere in there when Kobe left. But, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Whatever.
Big whatever. Big whatever.
Just what it is.
Wanted to give a couple of girl power notations, of course, that have been out there. We've got Milan Mimi Bolden Morris. So she was hired by Michigan football and will be working with the quarterbacks under Coach Harborough. If you can't,
nice.
that's a good look right there.
Yeah, it is.
She also played for Boston College in women's basketball 2017 and 20. And then moved on to Georgetown for her last 2 seasons. She was the first female graduate assistant at a Big Ten school and the first at a Power 5 FBS program since 1986.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good look. It's a good look. And clearly she's used to Team Jordan at Georgetown, so she'll be used to it over there at Michigan too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I wanted to also make sure everybody was aware that tomorrow the Utah Jazz will have their first all-female broadcast, which is pretty dope. And of course, we've got a couple of former Utah Stars, because that was one of the former names of the Las Vegas Aces when they were in Utah. Natalie Williams and of course Jennifer Azzi. She's also the current development officer for the Aces too. So
yeah, and I can't wait for Aces basketball. I'm ready for this Lakers stuff to end.
Man,
Aces basketball.
I'm ready for WNBA action.
Me too.
Really.
Me too.
I can't wait to see the
Me too.
differences.
Me too.
Aces also hired another assistant coach, Tyler March, who joins the team.
Nice.
So they're making some moves on their end. I keep seeing pictures of some of the girls out there, in the gym practicing, putting in work, and it's going to be great when season comes and get back and seeing these ladies work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be ready.
Well, all right, we're having a good show. We're just speeding through. I'm excited because we can be under an hour this time. I think we haven't done that in I don't know how long. So we'll be gabbing.
Yes. That's so much to talk about. It's a week's worth
I
of
know.
information. You
And
try to
that's why I
cram in
feel
one
like
thing.
I just got so drained with all this free agency. I was just like, this is too, like, my head was exploding
I
over
had to take
things.
a nap today after
I
I could
believe it.
sleep well, because I was like, I get an update early in the morning. I was talking to you, and I was like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
take a nap now.
Listen,
Let's
naps are
go.
great. Napetizers, a little
Yes, an
napetizer.
appetizer. Yeah, yeah. Saw your story. Yes,
I
an
know,
appetizer.
it's
What
hilarious.
you want?
All right, so just a reminder for or the 19th, the 13 Del Sols come out.
Okay.
So these are the LeBron old Palmers. Get it? Haha. So
Oh,
corny. These come out only in Europe right now on the 23rd of March. So if anybody has any friends in Europe,
yeah, I like
maybe they
those.
I do too. I mean, they can slide through and grab a pair, but the US release is to be determined still. So
Okay.
that's still in the works.
No, I like
These are
those.
the woman dunk lows,
Right.
vintage green. They even got like a little shimmer, it looks like, to it too.
Oh,
So
I like that.
yeah, me too. The 24th, we know that, of course, like you mentioned before, that the dunks are a hot commodity right
They
now.
are.
And these will be popping up on the 24th. So Air Max Day, for all those that don't know, March 26th. We've got 3 new Air Maxes that will be released on Air Max Day. The top one is the Wabi Sabi. The middle one is City of Light. And the last one is the Blueprint.
Mm,
I kind of like that top one. It's very
yeah.
earthy.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
I like my Max 90s though.
Yeah. I like those ones though.
Maybe
I like
watch
the little
maybe I'll get
extra
some.
swoosh on the toe.
Yeah, I like that. I might get some Air Max Free Days there to wear for Air Max Day.
Oh, okay.
But I
The
order it.
AJ3s, this is the muslin. It comes out on the 25th. Definitely look it up, because if you look at some of the other angles of it, the bottom, the back, it actually is a pretty good look. It's kind of clean. I'm not a big cream person, but these are pretty nice. The off-white Nike Blazers are supposed to be released on April 8th.
Huh.
Yeah.
Those are interesting.
And then
I like the ones on the bottom.
These ones that just come up, the 5 these are Jade Horizons.
Yeah, those
They
are
should
nice.
be released on the 9th. I love a good 5 too.
Yeah, I do too.
And of course, you had sent this one too. These are pretty hot. These dunks.
Oh yeah, the 75th
dunk
anniversary for the Jackie Robinsons with the 42 on the side, and then the way the insole has messaging in them, and the colorway, that would be my official Dodger dunk lows if I could get them. They're releasing them as a kid's shoe. So everybody that's a grade school size wins in this whole situation.
Hey,
and
that's me.
And I hope that they get into the adult sizing, because I'm a men's 8.5. If anybody's interested in copying me a pair out there, if they do come out in the adult size range, because they're fly. Like I could totally wear those with my
They're nice. Stuff. I would definitely sport those
They
too.
are. They're super fly. Like I
want to see what that price point is looking like for the for youth.
Average for the adult,
or at least grab them to resell too, because they could be a good resale item.
Them things for resale are gonna be ridiculous. I'm not even on front on that. You're probably looking at a good 500 to start.
I know.
Just because they're Jackie Robinsons. That's like a limited edition pair of dunks. You don't see those. Why didn't they make them grade school? That's stupid. But all right, it's okay.
So I'm going to work on my bracket.
Yes.
You're going to do a bracket. We'll compare brackets and see how far we've come across for each other. I know we're not going to be in the same a bracket college. I'm not paying for no money, because I'm not good at this one. So I will do
this
a couple
one was
freebies.
Free. I really didn't have to pay anything.
Oh yeah.
So you can join the Yahoo one. I'll send it to you if you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't have to pay on this one. It's just the 25K little. I think as we advance in the further rounds, maybe they may want you to kick in some dough, but this is 25K. They get.
I don't know. Interesting. Okay. Well, we wish everyone that's struggling with daylight savings time, like I have been today, to make it to Friday. We're almost there. Try and take some time to relax. I do enjoy that. What threw me off is because usually when it's starting to get dark, I'll start getting ready for the show. And now that it is getting dark at 6:30, I was like, oh wait, hang on a second. This isn't good. So enjoy the weather out here in Vegas. If you're coming on your way to Vegas for March Madness, enjoy. Say hello to your girls, because it's going to be a busy weekend out here. It's going to be nice weather. Stay safe, though, because there's still a pandemic, and the people out there in China and some other countries have already shut down again.
Shutting it down.
So please, let's not get back there.
Right.
I don't need that. I don't need
right.
that.
For all my
Right,
Irish ancestors or anybody that wants to be Irish tomorrow, have a safe
I'm
St.
half
Patrick's
Irish.
Day.
Yes, happy St. Patrick's Day.
My St. Patrick's Day is going to consist of a power marathon watching the St. Patrick's. So that's a happy St. Patrick's Day to me. So we'll see.
Well, tomorrow's Suge's 13th birthday.
It is.
So
Happy
we're going to
birthday,
be
Sugar.
I'm going to do some work, and then me and him are going to have a Tilly-free day because Tilly's going to go celebrate St. Patty's Day with the pups.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, me and Sugar are going to celebrate his old man day.
Oh, happy birthday, Sugar Shug.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks.
Shout out.
All right, y'all. We wish you all a wonderful week and weekend. We'll be back here next Wednesday. So stay safe and stay blessed.
Yeah, definitely. Right. We're out.
Later.